This morning we are out at the Plant Material Center. It's a USDA property with the Natural Resources Conservation Service, where employees from USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service will be doing some demonstration prescribed burns. Part of the reason for this is to gain experience for new employees in not only the application of prescribed fire, but also as they assist producers how they can better understand and better educate ranchers and producers on how to use prescribed burning. Today they will be actually burning some small plots, and they'll demonstrate different firing techniques, different practices, or different applications of how to do or how to conduct that prescribed burn safely, to be able to talk about that and to communicate that to landowners going forward in their career. So with every fire, what we typically like to see is somebody that is control, one individual making decisions, and a lot of time that person is described as the burn boss. That individual simply has the ability to be able to make decisions needing to be made about the prescription, the prescribed burn plan that is laid out before them. So an individual has probably taken place as part of the planning process. They know what the goal or the intention of the use of the fire is going to be, and they have that set out in front of them. Now, as they establish or assemble their crew, they're going to go over that prescribed burn plan with each one of those crew members, outlining what each role is supposed to be had by that individual so that they understand. And there will be a two-way communication when it's best done, and that means that the individual will explain what their role is, and they will ask them to repeat back to them what their role is or what their responsibility is, so that each individual knows exactly what they're supposed to do and when they are supposed to do it. Communication is a vital part of that. And even on the site, a lot of times two-way radios or some type of communication device is necessary so that the fire boss can stand back at a distance and really conduct the fire just like an orchestra of how each one and each role is supposed to play out. Communication then can happen from one individual to the next, and that directive then can be laid out there for everybody to follow. That way there's only one individual making those decisions, but communication is extremely important. This must be done prior to the actual conduction of the fire so that everybody knows what that role is. During the fire, then decisions are made by that fire boss. They are acted upon by those crew members. And then following the fire, after the fire has accomplished what is set out, then we review that burn plan again. What could we do better? What could we do differently? Did everybody understand their role? Were there decisions that needed to be made that could have been done differently? So active communication before, during, and after is really necessary. So the two igniters are widening out the backfire again because the wind is a little bit out of the northeasterly direction. He's allowing the ignition on the west side to progress ahead of the east side, just so that you're not putting any more additional heat on that ignition on the very west side of the burn. It's always important for those who are carrying the torch to always see where they're going so that they know where they can get into a safe zone, an area away from the actual ignition and the fire. Again, we've got mop-up crews, or at least fire suppression crews, that are staying on the outside of the burn area in a safe area, safe zone, away from the heat, looking for spot fires. We actually did have a little bit of a spot fire that started about 10 yards or 10 feet probably off of the burn area. Suppression unit is coming in to extinguish that, and then can get back out away from it. So now the fire will be completely enclosed. Suppression units are on the standby just in case they need to extinguish any remaining fire. In just a few seconds, this fire will have completely consumed all the fuel there is there to burn. Notice the little bit of a cyclone effect as that wind is coming over the top of the windbreak and the two flame fronts come together. It's actually pulling in enough air, kind of almost resembles a whirlwind. Something that you might be afraid of in an actual burn, but in a controlled deal like this where it is burning itself out, not a lot of place for this fire to go. And a good calm nature is something that has to also be a part of the crew. Not to panic, be able to react when you need to, but not to overreact and panic should things get just a little bit unpredictable.